It is exactly 17 after 9 o'clock. We're going to be joined by Alie Komape in a minute or two. He is a spokesperson for Africa for Palestine, and we're going to be talking about his participation in the Comrades marathon and how it played out. Assalamu alaikum to you, dear Ali. Welcome to the program. And I must apologize. I know we've kept you waiting for a while, but we were trying to wrap up an interview with Huwaida Araf. She, of course, is the organizer of the Freedom Flotilla, and you are kind of almost under the banner of the same, the same organizations. You are all pro-Palestine and you're all fighting for the rights of Palestine. And she is, in fact, a Palestinian American human and civil rights attorney talking about the Madeleine, which has just been well, not just now, but a couple of hours ago, has, of course, been intercepted by apartheid Israelis. So that is the story we were covering then. And you, as well, being absolutely pro Palestine and an activist for human rights, you are. With the spokesperson for Africa for Palestine. So, once again, we welcome people like yourselves to the station, knowing that you're all about humanitarianism. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the program.
Alaikum salam, and thank you for having us.
Thank you indeed for being with us. How are you feeling after having run the marathon?
It's, the body's still shocked, the body's still tired. I don't think human bodies are designed to run so many kilometers at one time at once.
Is this your first marathon?
No, no, no. This was my fifth marathon. My
Oh,
first was
mashallah.
in 2019. This was my fifth one.
And of course, this time around it was different, was it not? Your fifth marathon, you were actually really um, challenging yourself, racing against yourself, bettering your time from previous marathons. But there was something more special about the ultra marathon this time around. Do you want to tell us about it?
Um, uh, People who run marathons and participate in other world sporting events for Palestine or to raise Palestinian awareness around the Palestinian question are quite an exceptional group of people around the world. It's not only at Comrades Marathon, but as you see it in soccer, in football, you see it in cricket, you see it in other sporting codes. So this is I'm part of a small part of a global effort to raise the Palestinian question at these particular events, to showcase that every side is a side of struggle for Palestinians. So that is why we run. This is why I run, and I think there's also a larger group in South Africa, Runners for Palestine, that have been doing this type of work for some time now.
We do know that there were people, pro Palestinian people, raising flags and support for the Palestinian issue at the starting point, midway through, all along the route, and also at the end of the race. Their presence, they were small in number, but their presence really spoke out loudly with all of their flags, etc. How did that make you feel? Knowing that they were there and they were sending across a very, very clear message.
The support for Palestine from KZN is quite phenomenal. It's quite creative. They've been doing this for a couple of years, even before I started running. They've been doing it, and the folks at KZN, PSF, and other organizations have been doing fantastic work. Yesterday, they were all over the route. They had their huge flags, and they had banners at strategic sites along the route of Comrades Marathon. Huge banners on private property, on businesses, huge banners that they were. It was impossible not to see. It was magnificent. We saw even the EFF was there in their Palestine regalia. I saw the ANC was there among other organizations on the road. It was so much, and I think at one point in the route there was just a couple of Palestinian flags hanging onto trees. And this is the support that Palestine enjoys from the Comrades Marathon. This is just ordinary people who go traditionally to go on the route to support runners, but these are people who, in addition, want to raise awareness on the Palestinian question. I think it's phenomenal work. They do fantastic work, and I think many people can learn from them. Runners or not, they go in there early in the morning, sit there the whole day, having their flags, having their placards, and I think it's fantastic.
So, Ali, tell me, whilst you were on your run and seeing all of these Palestinian flags and the support for something that is so close to your heart, being the spokesperson for Africa for Palestine, did it give you an extra burst of energy?
Oh, definitely, definitely. I think at one point they were being harassed by the police, and when I arrived, we just gave them a piece of our minds, the police. And I think also what's important is in this particular edition of the Comrades Marathon, we had Israeli soldiers around.
Exactly.
I saw Israeli supporters, I think, in the 66-kilometer mark. There were a couple of few Israeli soldiers running, and I think they gave them a message. It gave us all of us an extra boom to do well because genocide officers are around. So that too, it definitely gives you an extra boost. It definitely rejuvenates, especially at the tail end, when your body is giving up, when your legs are wobbly, when your mind is all over the place. Seeing them there and seeing them chanting you on, it's just special.
Alhamdulillah for that. Um, you indicated just now that at one point at the 66-kilometer mark, you noticed that police were harassing the Palestinian supporters. Why is the Loftus situation playing out yet again? Um, because you were at Loftus as well a couple of weeks ago at the stadium when the flags, etc., were confiscated. What do you believe is, is happening? Who's pulling the strings behind the scenes for this to still perpetuate at other sporting events?
Clearly, someone has something against us. Clearly, someone is um, going after us, and I've spoken to the activists in KZN, and they're getting to the bottom of it. For instance, on Saturday, they said that something to the effect that the police commissioner said that one of the banners on private property must be removed. This is the day before the Comrades Marathon. It was removed. The police confiscated it. Why? We think there's a deliberate target on our backs for something that is peaceful, non-violent, and we don't infringe on anybody's rights. So we're clearly looking into this quite extensively, and we'll get to the bottom of it. That I can promise you.
Wonderful. Obviously, very, very strong messages went out all around the world with these pro Palestinian supporters, which just made my heart swell up so much, and my heart nearly burst out of my chest when I saw them making a very, very brave stance. And we knew, we are all aware that this is a global, it is watched globally. So a very strong message has gone out. And you, Alie Komape and Africa for Palestine, will continue making your presence felt whenever and wherever there is a sporting event.
Of course, this is one of many. We were at Lotus at the soccer stadium. We were at Comrades. We will see next where which sporting event we go to, and of course, this is something not unique, by the way, to South Africa and or Palestine.
Absolutely.
It happens everywhere in the world. And during our time of apartheid, let me just give the listeners an example. There was one time the Springboks, the apartheid Springboks, were touring New Zealand, and supporters of South Africa in New Zealand uh, took broken glasses and spread it all over the field so that the game cannot continue. So even during our time of apartheid, sporting events were a strategic site of struggle where people showed that we do not normalize with apartheid, we do not normalize with sporting teams that support apartheid in South Africa. So this is not unique to us, and it happened for us, and now we're doing it for Palestinians.
Okay, one more question I do need to put to you is back in the days of apartheid, um, all activists kind of suggested that no sport in under abnormal conditions. Now, clearly, those IDF soldiers that were participating in the marathon yesterday, they would argue that South Africa is not. Palestine or Israel, so they feel free to participate in the sport. But of course, they got a very loud and a clear message. But it is an abnormal situation, be it out of Israel, out of Palestine, wherever in the world you are obviously. You practice apartheid, you are involved in the genocide, so you shouldn't be participating in normal sports. And that
Of course,
message doesn't seem to be going across to the masses, to Western imperialists and pro Israeli supporters. They can't seem to see and hear and understand that message.
of course, look, we can have Israeli soldiers participate in our community marathon. That's just absurd. I mean, our country has taken a stand against Israel. Our government has taken Israel to the International Court of Justice. We must practice what we preach. We can't go to the international arena to say that Israel is committing genocide in Palestine, but on the other hand, welcome their soldiers with open arms. In actual, we always say, let's arrest them when
Absolutely.
they land in the country, let's arrest them because we are saying they are criminals at the International Court of Justice. So, but we can't act on our own soil. No, it's unacceptable. And we think that look, the government is in a tight spot. We know that with the international focus from the United States and so on, our country is bearing the brunt of showing solidarity with Palestine through sanctions from Trump and so on. We know that, but we feel that our government can do more. We're not saying that we're not doing well. The government on the question of Palestine, I think, is the best in the world in terms of what a government should do when it comes to solidarity with Palestine. But they can always do more. And one of the examples is that we do not allow Israeli genocide officers into our country and into our sports.
And I was surprised that they were not refused entry into the marathon and entry into the country. I was very, very surprised. But I guess there's other issues that play here as well. And I guess we need to try and dig deeper and understand what exactly were those issues. Are you, as Africa for Palestine, going to dig deeper? Are you going to investigate why those genocidal soldiers were allowed to participate in the marathon? And two issues here: were they in fact Zionists, or were they um, peace-loving Jewish people who support the Palestinian cause? Were they here in that capacity? And I think that is what needs to be investigated before I make very sweeping statements.
Of course, we're looking into it. Like I said, this is our government. This is a caring government. This is a government that has shown that it cares for Palestine. This is a government that has shown that it gives practical solidarity to Palestinians. This is a pro-Palestine government, as far as we're concerned. So we're going to look into it. Unfortunately, these are Israeli soldiers. These are not ordinary Jewish
And do we know
residents or
that for a fact,
citizens.
Ali? Ali,
Of
do we
course
know
we
that for
do.
a fact?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we do. We know it for a fact. These are soldiers. One is a reservist, soldiers nonetheless. So we know it for a fact. So that is documented quite well. And I think there are few organizations that picked it up. The ANC has picked it up. The EFF has picked it up, and so and others. And KZN PSF has picked it up also. So these are soldiers. These are not civilians.
Okay.
So yeah, we will take it further definitely.
Absolutely. And once once you've investigated and come to the understanding of who pulled strings where, are you going to make those issues public? We should
Of
you
course,
you should make it public. We do need to name and shame those people.
of course, of course. Look, like I said, there's so much pressures on the government. One of the things that we've been talking about for a while is that why are South Africans who are participating in the genocide not being arrested? Those are some of the conversations we're having. And of course, look, these are complex issues. These are issues that have international ramification. I think the government is looking into what to do and what not to do. We are not here to bash the government. They've been doing great work. Can they do better? Definitely. But are they doing well on the part of Palestine solidarity? Yes, they are. And so we'll be looking into it. We're not antagonistic to the government. What we will do is where have we dropped the ball and where can we do better? And of course, they need our help to say no. We knew before, by the way. I think we knew before the government knew that these guys are coming. One of the guys is a marathon runner all over the world. So they applied for Comrades long time ago. I think last year. So Comrades was open for applications last year. So we need to help each other, and we believe the government has good intentions. It's a listening government. They will listen to us and they will take our advice on these issues.
Okay, we're going to leave it there. Thank you indeed for your insight into these matters. And before I let you go, did you better your time to your previous runs?
I performed well, not with the better type. I've had better days.
But listen, the important thing is that you completed the race, right?
Oh, definitely, definitely,
Oh,
definitely.
good on you. Good on you. Thank you indeed for talking to us. And of course, just keep that flag flying as high as you can. We are all behind you, very especially Salam Media. We obviously give voices to the voiceless. So we are in it, in the struggle with you as well. Thank you for being with us. Stay strong and now go and have a very, very well deserved rest and just make sure that you eat all of the right foods to get back all of that energy that you expended in the marathon yesterday. Thank you, Ali. Go well. Salaam alaikum to you.
Thank you for having us, Salam.
It's 9:34 news and views with me, Julie Ali, and Alhamdulillah, we're now going to go on the spiritual path. We are going to be talking to two Hujjaj about the pilgrimage of the heart, that the pilgrimage is almost over. The Hajj is now in the closing hours of the Hajj, and we're going to be talking about their experience, inshallah. And not forgetting a reminder once again that we're going to take a listen to the Fire Up series with Hafiz Imran Chunara. He is a personal excellence mentor and CEO of Africa Muslims Agencies. We're going to take a listen to that a little later on. I haven't yet received the topic of his Fired Up series for today, but I would also like to remind you that this hour of news and views is brought to you by Africa Muslims Agency.